Welcome back to the channel, tennis fans. And thank you for tuning in to what is undoubtedly one of the most exciting updates we have had in the 2026 women's tennis season. We have breaking news coming straight out of the United Kingdom, specifically from the historic and prestigious lawns of the Edgbaston Priory Club. The Lexus Birmingham Open has delivered spectacular drama all week, but the headline that is sending shockwaves to the tennis world right now is the highly anticipated semifinal clash between the tournament's top seed, Alexandra Eala of the Philippines, and a resilient, hard-hitting Swiss qualifier, Rebeka Masarova. This is not just a standard match on the WTA 125 calendar. This is a collision of contrasting styles, a battle of relentless ambition, and a defining moment for two athletes at very different junctures in their professional careers. To set the stage, we have to look at the sheer magnitude of what has unfolded in Birmingham over the last few days. The grass court season is notoriously brief, incredibly demanding, and completely unforgiving. It requires a radical shift in footwork, a lower center of gravity, and a mental flexibility that many top players spend years trying to master. Into this challenging environment steps Alexandra Ela, currently sitting at a career-high world ranking of number 37. Ela arrived at this tournament carrying the heavy mantle of the number 1 seed, an immense pressure for a player who, until recently, was still finding her footing on this specific surface. Yet, she has systematically dismantled her opposition with a level of precision and cold-blooded focus that champions are made of. In her quarterfinal match, Ela faced a familiar foe in Thailand's Maninkaya Sawanki. If you recall, Ela defeated Sawanki in the gold medal match at the Southeast Asian Games, a monumental victory that ended a 26-year gold medal drought for the Philippines in women's singles. This time, on the slick grass of Birmingham under completely different and difficult conditions, Ela proved that her previous victory was no fluke. She weathered the cold, the biting wind, and a determined opponent to secure a brilliant 6-3, 6-2 victory in just 1 hour and 21 minutes. But this story is not just about the top seed. Across the net stands Rebeka Masarova, a player whose journey to the semifinal has been nothing short of a cinematic underdog story. Ranked number 132 in the world, Mazerova was forced to grind her way through the qualifying rounds just to earn a spot in the main draw. She had to battle past Emily Appleton and Celine Neef before even seeing the main stage. And once she got there, she orchestrated a stunning comeback against Teresa Martinkova, and then in a massive upset, took out the 3rd seed, the highly experienced grass court specialist Tatiana Maria, in straight sets. In her quarterfinal match against the American Mary Stoyana, Mazerova showcased incredible mental fortitude, bouncing back from a second set lapse to deliver a devastating 6-love bagel in the deciding 3rd set. Mazerova is playing with the dangerous freedom of a qualifier who has absolutely nothing to lose and everything to gain. The stakes for the semifinal could not be higher. Ela is chasing her 2nd WTA 125 title, looking to build massive momentum and secure crucial ranking points as we inch closer to Wimbledon. Mazerova is fighting to break back into the upper echelons of the rankings, proving that her blistering serve and aggressive baseline game are potent weapons on the global stage. This matchup is a fascinating tactical puzzle. Ela currently leads their head-to-head record 1-0, having defeated Mazerova at an ITF event in Trnava last year in straight sets. But as any tennis purist knows, a victory on a hard court last year means very little when you step onto the lush, unpredictable grass of Birmingham. The bounce is lower, the skids are faster, and the margins for error are razor-thin. We are about to witness a masterclass in adaptability, as Ela's calculated, left-handed baseline aggression goes toe-to-toe with Mazerova's overwhelming first strike power. We have to appreciate the context of Ela's season so far. Coming off a challenging early exit at the French Open, many wonder how the world number 37 would rebound. Transitioning from the slow, high-bouncing red clay of Roland Garros to the lightning-fast grass of the United Kingdom is the toughest turnaround in professional sports. Yet, Ela has looked remarkably comfortable. She has spoken about controlling controllables, maintaining her intensity, and avoiding the mental dips that can cost a player dearly on this surface. Her campaign in Birmingham began by brushing aside Priscilla Hahn and Alina Kariva in straight sets, a clear statement of intent. The crowd at the Edgbaston Priory Club has fully embraced her, marveling at her shot-making ability and her poise under pressure. Conversely, Mazerova's path has been one of survival and sheer willpower. Being a qualifier means she has spent significantly more time on these courts, navigating the nuances of the turf, adjusting her toss to the swirling winds, and feeling the unique rhythm of grass court tennis. That extra court time can be a double-edged sword. It provides invaluable match practice, but also accumulates physical fatigue. However, Mazerova's performance against Stoyana, particularly that flawless third set, suggests that her fitness levels are peaking at exactly the right moment. Her ability to hold on to an early break in the first set, absorb the disappointment of losing the second, and absolutely dominate the decider speaks volumes about her psychological resilience. This semifinal is not just a test of physical skill. It is a profound mental chess match. Ela represents the new vanguard of tactical, all-court tennis, a player who uses her left-handed spin to open up the court and dictate play. Mazerova represents raw, unadulterated power, a player who can take the racket out of her opponent's hand with a single swing. As the anticipation builds and the stand begin to fill, the tennis world holds its breath. Will the top seed's methodical brilliance prevail, or will the fiery qualifier hit her way into the final? Sit tight, because we are about to dive deep into the specific mechanics, the glaring faults, and the brilliant improvements that will ultimately decide the outcome of this extraordinary Birmingham showdown. Now, let's transition into the core of this matchup and break down exactly what is happening beneath the surface. To truly understand how the semifinal will unfold, we have to conduct a deep dive analysis into the faults and improvements of both Alexandra Ela and Rebeka Masarova, specifically focusing on how their games translate to the grass courts of Birmingham. Tennis at this level is won and lost in the smallest of margins, in the microscopic adjustments made from match to match, and in the ability to mask one's weaknesses, while ruthlessly exploiting the vulnerabilities of the opponent. Let's begin with the top seed, Alexandra Ela. If we look back at the earlier stages of Ela's career, and even into her performances last season, there were identifiable faults that opponents tried to target. Primarily, Ela sometimes struggled with her transitional game. Being such a phenomenal ball striker from the baseline, there were moments when she hesitated to move forward and finish points at the net, which is a critical necessity on grass. Furthermore, as a left-hander, her second serve could sometimes lack the bite and placement needed to keep aggressive returners at bay, making her vulnerable to early breaks. We also saw her occasionally struggle with the high-bouncing balls directed at her backhand, a common tactic used to neutralize her rhythm. However, the improvements Ela has demonstrated here in Birmingham are nothing short of spectacular, highlighting why she has surged to number 37 in the world. First and foremost, her movement on the grass has been a revelation. Grass requires small, choppy steps and an incredibly low center of gravity. Ela has adapted her footwork beautifully, staying down on the skidding balls and using her powerful legs to drive through her ground strokes. We are no longer seeing the hesitation when moving forward. She has confidently taken the ball on a rise, robbing her opponents of recovery time. Perhaps the most significant improvement is her serving statistics. In her match against Sawanki, Ela did not just rely on power. She relied on placement and variety. She has developed a highly effective slice serve out wide on the ad court, pulling right-handed opponents completely off court and opening up down-the-line winners. Her ability to maintain her intensity, deliberately avoiding those mid-match dips in focus, has been her ultimate weapon. When Sawanki challenged her in the second set, briefly stalling Ela's momentum, Ela simply reset her mind, strung together 5 consecutive games, and slammed the door shut. That is a hallmark of a mature, top-tier player. Now, let us turn our analytical lens to Rebeka Masarova. Mazerova is a player built for modern power tennis, but that power has historically come with its own set of faults. In the past, her biggest detriment has been inconsistency during prolonged rallies. Mazerova wants to end points quickly, ideally within the first 3 to 4 shots. When forced to hit extra balls, especially on surfaces that blunt her power, her unforced error count tends to skyrocket. Her movement, particularly her lateral defense, has also been a target for opponents because of her height and aggressive stance. Getting low for the unpredictable bounces on a worn-down grass court can be a mechanical struggle. Additionally, we have seen her experience dramatic fluctuations in concentration, evidenced by her dropping the second set against Mary Stoyana before rebounding. But Mazerova's improvements during this Birmingham campaign demand immense respect. She has clearly put in the hours to refine her grass court mechanics. The most glaring improvement is her point construction. Instead of simply trying to blast through her opponents with sheer pace, Mazerova is using her heavy ground strokes to construct offensive patterns. She is hitting with margin, understanding that on grass, depth and weight of shot are often more effective than hitting the lines. Her serve, which is her absolute bedrock, has been phenomenal. She is hitting her spots with lethal accuracy, utilizing a flat delivery down the tee and a kicker that explodes off the turf. The fact that she defeated Tatiana Maria, a player infamous for her tricky, slice-and-dice grass court game, proves that Mazerova has vastly improved her patience and her ability to handle off-pace balls. Furthermore, delivering a six-love bagel in the third set of a quarterfinal shows a lethal killer instinct. She did not just win that match. She broke her opponent's will, demonstrating a level of physical and mental stamina that makes her incredibly dangerous. When we map these faults and improvements onto the upcoming semifinal, a fascinating tactical narrative emerges. Ela's primary objective will be to move Mazerova side to side, exploiting any lingering lateral movement issues. Ela will use her left-handed forehand to hook the ball cross-court, forcing Mazerova to hit backhands on the run. Ela must keep the ball low, using a backhand slice to force Mazerova to bend her knees and dig the ball out of the turf. If Ela can extend the rallies past the 5-shot mark, the statistics heavily favor her securing the point. Conversely, Mazerova's game plan will be entirely predicated on first-strike tennis. She cannot allow Ela to dictate the rhythm from the center of the court. Mazerova has to serve out her mind, aiming for a high first-serve percentage to guarantee free points. On the return, Mazerova will likely step inside the baseline, particularly on Ela's second serve, looking to hit deep returns down the middle to jam Ela and prevent her from opening up those lethal lefty angles. Mazerova wants to keep the points short, violent, and decisive. The battleground will be the middle of the court. Whoever commands the center and forces the other to defend the corners will control the destiny of this match. Ela has a tactical superiority and the ranking pedigree, but Mazerova has a sheer firepower and the undeniable momentum of a qualifier who have forgotten how to lose. It is a classic clash of precision versus power, consistency versus explosive capability. The cold, windy conditions in Birmingham will also play a massive role. Wind favors a player with better footwork and a more compact swing, which points directly to Ela. However, if Mazerova's serve is clicking, the wind becomes irrelevant. This deep dive reveals that while Ela is the rightful favorite on paper, Mazerova possesses the exact anatomical tools required to cause a massive upset on this specific surface. As we wrap up this comprehensive analysis and look ahead to the moment these two phenomenal athletes walk onto the center court at the Edgbaston Priory Club, we have to reflect on what this match signifies in the broader landscape of the sport. We are not just analyzing a semifinal. We are witnessing the evolution of women's tennis in real time. Alexandra Ela is carrying the hopes of an entire nation on her shoulders. Every time she swings her racket, she is writing history for the Philippines, proving that Southeast Asian talent belongs at the absolute pinnacle of global tennis. Her rise to number 37 in the world is a testament to her relentless work ethic, her willingness to travel the globe, and her unwavering belief in her own potential. Winning here in Birmingham, capturing another WTA 125 title, would not just be a trophy in the cabinet. It would be a resounding declaration that she is a multi-surface threat, ready to make deep, dangerous runs at the upcoming Grand Slams. On the other side of the net, Rebeka Masarova is fighting a deeply personal battle for redemption and recognition. The life of a professional tennis player hovering outside the top 100 is incredibly difficult. It is a life of endless travel, financial pressure, and the grueling reality of having played qualifying matches just to sit at the main table. By battling her way through the qualifying draw and dismantling seeded players in the main event, Mazerova has already proven her immense value. She has reminded the tennis world of the raw, devastating power that once made her a junior Grand Slam champion. A victory over a player of Ela's caliber on a stage like this would catapult Mazerova back into the spotlight, providing the ranking points and the financial boost necessary to secure direct entries into major tournaments. The psychological warfare that will take place during this match will be absolutely captivating. Tennis is arguably the most isolating sport in the world. When things go wrong out there on the grass, there is nowhere to hide, no teammate to pass the ball to, and no coach to call a timeout. It is entirely up to the individual to solve the geometric puzzle of the court and the emotional turbulence in their own mind. We will see Ela utilizing her meticulous pre-serve routines, visualizing her targets and calming her heart rate. We will see Mazerova bouncing the ball with aggressive intent, channeling her adrenaline into that massive right arm, and trying to physically impose her will on the match. The crowd in Birmingham will be treated to a spectacular showcase of contrasting philosophies. They will applaud Ela's delicate drop shots and sharply angled winners, and they will gasp at the sheer velocity of Mazerova's aces. This is what makes the grass court season so incredibly special. It is fleeting, it is chaotic, and it produces a brand of tennis that is utterly distinct from the rest of the year. As for a final prediction, it is incredibly difficult to bet against Alexandra Ela in her current form. She has shown a level of tactical maturity and mental resilience that goes far beyond her years. Her ability to neutralize power and dictate play with her left-handed spin gives her a distinct advantage in the longer exchanges. Her straight sets victory over Mazerova last year in Trnava, while on a different surface, proves that she understands how to dismantle the Swiss player's game. However, on grass, a booming serve is the ultimate equalizer. If Mazerova steps onto the court and serves at 75% or higher, hitting her spots and playing first-strike tennis, she has the capability to hit Ela right off the court. Ultimately, I believe this match will come down to who handles the pressure of the big moments, the break points, the crucial 30-all points. The inevitable momentum shifts. Ela has looked utterly unfazed by pressure all week, controlling controllables and playing with a joyful intensity. If she can successfully weather the early storm of Mazerova's power, extend the rallies, and force Mazerova to hit that extra defensive ball, Ela should be able to punch her ticket to the final. But make no mistake, she will have to earn every single point. Thank you so much for joining me for this extensive deep dive into the Lexus Birmingham Open semifinal. I hope this analysis has given you a deeper appreciation for the tactical nuances, the mechanical adjustments, and the immense psychological stakes involved in professional tennis. If you enjoyed this breakdown, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more comprehensive tennis coverage, and let me know your predictions down in the comment section. Who do you think will advance to the final? Will it be the methodical brilliance of Ela or the unbridled power of Mazerova? Enjoy the match. Appreciate the incredible athleticism on display. And I will see you all in the next video for the post-match breakdown. This video preview offers an excellent breakdown of the head-to-head statistics and key strategies for both players in the specific Birmingham match.